Christian fundamentalist Matt Barber, this guy right here, made a bizarre argument in favor of the Second Amendment. Let's listen, and then we'll discuss.
I'm a Christian. Many of you out there listening right now are Christian, and people often say, well, why are Christians defending the Second Amendment? Why are Christians so adamant that people have a right to keep and bear arms? This is, the uninfringible constitutional right to arm and defend yourself, your family, your friends, your colleagues, and even perfect strangers. It's not just as American as apple pie, as they say. Frankly, folks, it's as biblical as a shepherd boy's slingshot. Think about that. David and Goliath. David, a man after God's own heart, used a weapon of war at that time, a slingshot, in order to take down Goliath. And in response to this, the explosive global threat of Islamic terrorism, of communism. Yes, it's back in vogue, folks. Socialism, communism, particularly among millennials, though it has failed everywhere in the world with over 100 million deaths. It just keeps rearing its ugly head. But Wayne LaPierre, president of the National Rifle Association, he observed a couple of years ago, he said, "When evil knocks on our doors, Americans have a power no other people on the planet share, the full-throated right to defend our families and ourselves with our Second Amendment." But it's not just a Second Amendment right, folks. Again, it's a God-given right. That's what Jesus says.
Jesus says the Second Amendment is a God-given right. America and the Second Amendment didn't exist back then. Why do they do this? Listen, man, can't you just be like, I like guns, so I'm going to be on the side of guns? Like, why can't you just say that instead of just giving us a heaping dose of bullshit? Like, you could just say, I like guns, and I care more about the freedom for me to have any weapon I want than the lives of the kids. Now, I might not agree with you on that, but you can say that. But instead, you're working backwards from your conclusion and trying to twist your religion into matching your political ideology. That's what that is. Because here's the deal, man. If we take the Bible and we take the New Testament, and this guy's big on, I'm a Christian, I love Jesus. Okay, so let's look at the New Testament. You take all the parts of the New Testament where Jesus is pro-war and in favor of guns, which didn't exist back then, by the way, but you point out all the violent parts of the New Testament where Jesus endorses violence. I'll pick all the parts of the Bible where Jesus endorses peace. And then at the end of it, we'll compare the numbers that we came to, and we'll see who's right. Pretty sure there's a lot more passages in the New Testament where Jesus is all hippy-dippy. He says turn the other cheek. You know what that means? That means if somebody fucking comes after you and attacks you and hits you, you turn the other cheek and say, hit me here too. That's so pro-peace that it's pacifism. So there's a guy like me who's in favor of peace, who believes internationally in non-interventionism. So, okay, we don't do offensive wars, but if you attack us, we're going to defend ourselves. So I'm in favor of peace, but I'm in favor of defense. You could use violence in the cause of defense. Jesus isn't even in favor of that. He's in favor of pacifism. Even if you attack me, I'll lay down and take it, because it is the moral thing to do to never strike back, ever. So go ahead. You pick all the parts of the Bible where Jesus is warlike. I'll pick all the parts of the Bible where he promotes peace, and I'll have about, 712 passages, and you'll have 5? So just come on. Just say it. Just be like, I like guns. This has nothing to do with my religion, but I like guns, so this is the side of the argument I'm on. Instead, you take a ridiculous position and try to twist it like, the Bible loves the Second Amendment. What else does the Bible love? Does the Bible love fucking private health insurance too? Because I know you're not in favor of Medicare for all system just by this fucking segment. You go through it. Would Jesus have loved the Iraq War, an offensive war against a country that didn't attack us? Would he have loved that? I'm sure you were in favor of the Iraq War. I'm sure you loved torture at Guantanamo Bay. Would Jesus love that too? Just admit it, man. Just admit you're working backwards from your conclusion. Your political ideology overrides your religious ideology. Instead of trying to twist the two like you're a kid and it's the square hole and you got the round peg and you're like, fucking fit. All right, let me talk about this and make an ass of myself for the world to see.